Want to wow your guests with a show-stopping centerpiece this holiday season? A perfectly glazed honey roast ham is a guarantee to steal the spotlight. Juicy, tender, and dripping with sweet caramelized flavor, this is a recipe you'll come back to year after year. I'm Patrick and I've spent my career in award-winning restaurants all around the world. Now let's get started. So here we have our quarter smoked leg ham, which is ready to prepare. So this comes with the skin on. What we need to do is we need to remove the skin while leaving as much fat on there as possible. The fat's got all the flavor and the juiciness, which is going to keep it moist. So all we're going to do here is just pull off that skin. If it needs it, you can just use the knife to help. The fat comes off very easily. So now that skin's removed, we're going to score the fat. We're going to cut incisions into the fat, not all the way through though, only part of the way through. So in this case, about 1/2 centimetre. We've got about 1 centimetre of fat to work with. So we're going to score inside about 1/2 centimetre down, and that's just going to allow the fat to crisp up and to take on the flavours that we're going to infuse it with. All of that honey, orange, spices, all of that stuff. Okay, so just scoring part way through the skin, and these are about 1 centimetre apart. We're doing that one way first. Now here, I'm going to take about 30 cloves, and I'm just going to stud these into the fat. Just in lines, evenly spaced across. Next I've got a black tray, which I'm going to line with first foil and then some parchment paper. The studded ham will just go on top of that. That can go to one side while we prepare our glaze. Okay, next, time to make our glaze. I can't open this, so a little trick to open a jar if you're struggling is just to bang around all the edges onto a board. You should see it opens easily. So we're going to add 200 grams of honey. Just twist that. This honey is the best. It's from my friend Ryan. He keeps his own bees, he produces his own honey, and that's where I got this one. Next we've got 200 grams of demerara sugar, which is going to go in there. 3 star anise. 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds. The zest and juice of 1 large orange. Did you know that honey roasted ham has been a festive favourite for centuries? Its roots go back to ancient times when salting and smoking preserved meat. By medieval Europe, ham became a celebratory dish, often paired with sweeteners like honey to balance its saltiness. In the 20th century, spiral cut hams made glazing easier, boosting honey glazed ham's popularity, especially during the holidays. Today, it's a timeless centerpiece, loved for its perfect mix of sweet, salty and smoky flavors. A true classic with a rich history. While our glaze is coming to the boil there, I'm going to take about another 50 grams of the demerara sugar and just put it onto the top of the fat. So once this is reduced down by about 25%, we're going to kill the heat. Let it cool down for a few minutes, and then we're going to cover our ham. So this has been cooling for 5 minutes. and those flavours have infused. I'm just going to pour that syrup through a sieve to get rid of all of the spices and all of those aromats that we don't need anymore. Then we're going to cover nicely the ham with our syrup. Start at the top and just let it cover everything. And then during the process we're going to be basting this again, so the liquid from the tray we're going to be putting back on top. Don't worry that most of it is falling to the tray. That doesn't matter. So really important to keep bringing this out and basting it every 10 minutes at least. What's going to happen is the sugar and the honey and the orange, that mixture is going to become more and more caramelized. I'm going to keep feeding that back to the top of the ham. This honey roast ham is going to go incredibly well with a homemade piccalilli. I've made this in a previous video and here's the link, go and check it out. There it is, guys. That's my perfect honey roast ham with all of the best spices and fruits caramelized to perfection. If you make this, your friends and family are going to love you for it. Now all that's left to do is to remove all of those cloves because they've done their job and slice it up. You can do this hot or cold.